So you remember those two pieces of wood you had? Combine them to make it look one shape. We have to use rocks to weigh these down because they're about 2 months out from being able to sink. But I also like the idea of having a bunch of rocks below it, white sand around it, and then we fill this entire center area with plants. Hopefully it doesn't float, but we don't need a lot of substrate because the substrate in this tank is just for aesthetics. It's not going to be very useful at all. We're not going to have any plants in here that require a substrate, I guess is what I should have said. But, yeah. So, and I know some people will be like, oh, Joey, let her set the tanks up. She does. She sets most of them up, but it's also like having one of your favorite aquarists come over and help set a tank up and whatnot, and making sure that she's getting exactly what she wants out of a tank. Now, I'm not the best aquascaper in the world, but I've been around many of them and learned from plenty. And we're just kind of using supplies that we already have. And this is just going to keep looking better and better. Again, the bottom substrate is literally only for aesthetics. It's not serving any more purpose than obviously aesthetics, and then beneficial bacteria will grow on it, of course. But just a basic light dusting on the base. And then one of the other things you can do to kind of make it look more aged and or natural is pour it over the first, 25% of the rocks down here. It will bury some. In fact, it could bury a lot of them, but once it starts to fill with water and stuff, it's just going to begin to look a lot more natural. As if this is just a tuff of wood and rocks poking out of the sand in the wild, perhaps, with lots of sand or lots of plants attached to it. The plants we're going with is mostly Java ferns.
Have a big jungle here.
You need to clean out here. You're tripping over everything.
That's how I feel in the gallery right now.
Yeah, but everything's perfectly placed.
No, everything's perfect in here. I know where it all is.
Oh, do you want the Anubias in there, or do you want to stick to just Java fern?
I want to put...
In my opinion,
we'll see what it looks
best
like.
with just Java. It's up to you. Did you only get 2 mats?
No, I got 3.
We're going to cut those into halves. One of the best parts about this is this does not need a substrate to grow on. Now look at your plants that you're starting out with immediately. These are on mats. This is how they grow. Whoa, this is going to look really good. Look how many you have.
Anytime there's plants, I just think it looks so good.
It does. Plants make every tank look better. So I'm also looking for longevity in the tank, making sure that you can actually take care of it. And a lot of times beginners will set up tanks and run into some issues. And I'm simply just helping you avoid those things. So we cut the mats in half. And instead of just having 3, we've got 6 really big ones. We're going to lose some of the leaves over time, but that's fine. And again, we're just going to stuff them anywheres in here. You actually might not even need all these.
Extra.
You definitely can have extra, I would say.
Yeah, sometimes I just get overwhelmed too, and I don't know what to do with my tank, and then I just make you come set it up for me, and then I just act like it was mine.
It is yours.
Yeah, but like
do you know how many times people were like,
I set it up
do you know how many times people said, hey, you should let Oliver not set up a tank. George Farmer come set up a tank, blah, blah, blah. And I love doing it, but it's the same thing that they're saying, but they're saying the opposite to you, like, let Tamara do it herself. And you know what? I'm not going to do this all the time for you, but I think having a few really good tanks that are really well done is a good idea for yourself. Plus, this is an extension of the main gallery, in my opinion.
Yeah. If this doesn't happen, guys, we end up with this.
Yeah. See, you also don't want too many plants, so it doesn't look to me, even though we've got tons of plants, I don't think we're going to be using all of them.
It's so lush already.
Oh, yeah. I think that's perfect. Unless you want more, but there's no more places to put them on the.
I think that's probably good.
On the wood. I guess I could put some down here. Yeah, that's fine, eh?
Yeah.
I mean, what's the worst that can happen? It's too many plants, oh boo-hoo. It's gonna look awesome.
Yeah. Look at the 700. It's planting itself.
This
At
is what's
this
gonna
point.
happen to this. This will eventually be entirely
It'll
Java
just be a jungle.
Yeah. And the best part is it only needs a light like that to grow. So you got one more. Do you want one more in it? I say we just do it.
Yeah, just throw it in that corner there. Yeah, that's
Here?
where. That's somewhere like that.
So
Something like that.
the goal to this scape was to create an open swimming space for fish to kind of swim around it almost in circles.
Yeah, who do you think I should put in here? Because I was thinking of putting the Nicaraguans with some guppies, but I don't know.
I don't think the
I
Nicaraguans
should-
will eat guppies. I don't think they do that, but you could try the Nicaraguans with a handful of guppies and see what happens. But damn, that's a lot of plants. Java ferns are one of my favorite plants, and they tend to be one of the easier ones to grow. We'll also put in some floating plants.
I don't know. I'm getting sick of the
Oh, okay.
floating plants. To
They're
be
so new to
honest.
me that I'm so excited about them. Now we can fill it up. Obviously, I can't cycle the tank right now, but because I'm missing a plumbing part. But now your tank is ready to at least continue. That is a nice tank.
It is.
Yeah.
I have the syndrome you have. Every new tank set up is my new favorite tank.
Well, the thing that I love about the simplicity to this, and these, when I do a scape like this inspires more people than not. One of my most famous scapes of all time, I guess you can call it, is my original goldfish aquarium, where it was just a few round rocks. I kind of simulated it with that, but that tank don't look good at all anymore.
Cloudy.
It is what it is, but this will do
always
it.
redo
This
it.
is a little too complicated, and I don't know what it's going to look like long term.
They seem to really be enjoying it, though.
Because they're babies. But once they get up to 3 inches, they get quite large. We could potentially change it, but eventually I think what will happen is you'll just have 2 or 3 of the really big rocks just on the ground, and that'll be it. But for now, you can have something like this. And over time, scapes do need to change and evolve. And the point with this is, and the reason they're all out all the time, is because they feel nice. They feel secure in there. They have plenty of places to dart and hide. There's plenty of visual blocks. They've got 2 distinct territories with, of course, the flow kind of forcing them to stay near the front of the tank. The flow of the water is just equally as important.
Except those rebels back there.
Oh, and you're not doing a background in this either,
No.
right? No, I like that. It's just going to be white in the background. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'm not going to add any more sand. I think that's enough. Do you?
Yeah. I think it looks perfect.
Now, let's fill it up.
Perfect.
Oh, and look at, when those rocks were all created down here. So if I have a rock and it's too big, I just smack them apart.
And it's really a clean task.
Well, it sucks, but the reason this kind of looks okay and kind of natural is because when I find a rock, big rocks look good, but when you get to the base of your scape, a lot of the times, smaller rocks look even better, like as if they've tumbled. But you kind of want to also stay away from the edges that you just cut, and they're straight, because those are not natural.
Guess we gotta fill it up.
Now, all we needed to do was shove it in. We don't need to glue the Java moss or the Java fern in place. Just push it there, and over time, it's going to attach itself naturally to the wood and rocks. My concern is 2 things when we start filling this up. The Java fern, some of it's going to let go and start floating. My biggest fear is the wood starts to float. But because we've added so many plants, man, that looks good. We're going to be able to hide rocks inside of it and on top of it to kind of hold it down. So if that happens, I'll just take some of the rocks, I'll smash some more apart, and I'll put them on top of the wood. This was in our bathtub for a couple weeks, and I see no end to it. Now, when filling a tank, a freshly scaped tank, a lot of scapers will put down paper towel or something to stop the water flow from like destroying the scape. For me, I like to stick the pipe onto an end piece of wood, and it breaks up the flow. Otherwise, it makes a complete and utter mess.
Looks good. Nothing floated away.
Yeah, super simple scape too. Super easy to take care of. Plenty of room. It's to the front of the tank too, so it kind of makes the tank look smaller than it actually is.
Now this tank I also love, and I also had Joey scape this one for me just because I did not know what to do with it. We got those pieces of wood from Aquarica a few videos back, and they needed some time to sink. I had them in the bathtub, and it seemed like they were just going to keep sinking for forever. So Joey said that he could help me out by weighing them down with some rocks, and I just did not know how to place the rocks to have the wood sink and for it to also look aesthetically pleasing. So he helped me out. I love the difference between these two, how this one's just with the rocks and this one has sort of a little bit more going on with the greenery of the plants and everything. We're just, again, waiting on getting the last bits of plumbing and a heater for this one before I can move the Nicaraguans into it. I still plan on trying out some guppies with them because I think if they don't eat them, it will end up looking really, really cool. But you never know, they might just eat them, and if that's the case, I will have to just have the Nicaraguans in there or try to find another tank mate for them that they won't go after. But for now, that's the plan. You never know until you try. Every fish is a little bit different, so we'll see how it goes. I don't know if these two crabs are a pair, but there's a blue one always with Linda, the red one, and then there's always one that's just on its own. But I don't know how to tell the two blue ones apart, so I don't know if it's always the same blue one that hangs out with her, or if it's a different one each time. This is my big baby. Anyways, I just wanted to ask you, which out of the two 70-gallon aquarium scapes do you prefer? Do you like the one that we just set up for the Nicaraguans and guppies, or do you prefer the one for the Tropheus? And as always, make sure you give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're not yet already, leave me a comment if you want. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.